With injury updates and more, this is Pro Wrestling Central. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Talking about how he injured himself during the filming of Twisted Metal, Samoa Joe said this to Mike Johnson of PW Insider. Normally, I would say the ring is always a much more precarious place to be in, but halfway through the season, I fractured my ankle. It was just parking, and I had to hop out the back on some really rocky, busted up asphalt. I turned my ankle and spent the rest of the season taping it up and limping through it. Twisted Metal is incredibly physical, fighting scenes, driving scenes. Anytime that car is driving, you see me in it, it's me. It's a demanding role, but spending enough time in the ring as I have, it's no new territory. Definitely sooner than later, we're clearing our various medical protocols, and as soon as we're done with that, we'll be back to business. Revealing that he will be out of action from TNA for over a year, Casey Navarro said this on X.
This is it. You guys saw what happened on Impact. It was unfortunate, but now it's time to start the road to recovery and to get back and show the world what I'm truly capable of. To anybody I'm letting down, I'm sorry, but I know one thing that keeps me positive is that God has a plan for everything. And there's a reason why this is all happening, and there's a reason why God wants this to happen. He's got a bigger plan. See you guys in here. Until then, stay blessed.
Asked if she would return to the ring, Torrie Wilson told Shaq Wrestling, "Well, I feel like if you've ever been in wrestling, the door is never completely closed. But people ask me a lot, like, do you have another match in you? And I'm like, yes, of course. Like, if something awesome came along, how would I not have that in me? It would take a lot more preparing on my end because I wouldn't want to go back and do something that didn't make people go, oh wow, she is an athlete, right? So I would want to, I guess, make myself proud." Mentioning why Asuka turned heel so suddenly, Ringside News wrote that according to PW Insider, Asuka's heel turn was originally planned as a slow burn over several weeks, but after WWE Raw plans changed when Naomi was pulled, the company decided to speed up the storyline. Talking about Hulk Hogan being booed for his last WWE appearance, Vince McMahon said this to TMZ, "I was angry. He deserved much more." The interviewer then said this to McMahon, "Hulk, the 10-bell salute. You had such history and deep friendship. You must be having such mixed emotions that you weren't able to be part of that." McMahon replied, "It really struck me that way." McMahon would also defend bringing Hogan back to WWE after the sex tape was leaked where Hogan used a racial slur. "I knew he wasn't racist. I'd been with him for several years. He wasn't racist. He said some racist things and he should pay for that, and he did. But in the end, I think everyone saw the real Hulk Hogan and they felt that this guy doesn't act like a racist. He's not a racist. We all make mistakes. That was a big one. But he wasn't a racist." After confirming that she suffered a torn ACL, NXT's ADRIANA RIZZO said this about her injury on TikTok.
How I tore my leg. How I tore my knee. What happened? Why did it happen? I've gotten a lot of people speculating, oh, you were doing this, you were doing that. You know what? Just right up. You already know. You already know. First of all, none of your business. But I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm going to tell you anyway because I'm sick of hearing, I'm sick of the speculation. So here's what happened. I had a partial tear. Partial. Not fully. Partial tear on my ACL. A year and a half ago, I was doing a throw over my head and somebody pushed my knee in, partially tore my ACL. Whatever. I'm fine. I worked through it for a year and a half. Yes, I knew there was a chance it was going to fully tear. But I wasn't about to sit out for a year and a half because I got, a splinter on my ACL. I'm going to get surgery when the whole kabang goes. So I'm going to go as long as I can until that happens. Yes, I knew it was a possibility. Yes, I made the decision. Yes, I'm still happy about my decision. So what happened was I was at practice. I was doing a drill. I'm running over to the corner and boom, my knee just, bada bing, bada boom, explodes. I fall over. I lay on the floor for like 4 minutes because I knew my knee exploded and I was like, well, shit, there it goes. There it goes. So that's the story of my knee. So everyone can stop making up their little fairy tale rumors because that's what happened. All right. Have a good day.
It looks as though Brock Lesnar will be returning to WWE next month, with him being advertised for SmackDown on September 12th and 19th. Revealing why he ended up in the hospital, WWE referee Charles Robinson said this on Instagram. Great way to start the morning. 2 a.m. and got bit by a bat. That's right, a bat. 4 hours later in the ER and 6 shots. Hashtag animal attacks, hashtag hospital. Providing a health update, former WWE star Brian Knobbs said this in a video.
Hey everybody, I haven't been on for a while. It's been a past crazy couple weeks. Everything's been going on, quite emotional, and they found out that my foot is infected again, so now they're talking about amputation. And then besides that, my wife had an accident here at this hotel we were still staying at, and broke her ankle with the bone coming through, so a compound fracture. So now she's laid up in rehab. And then my best friend in the world passes away, and it's just been, a tough road. And now here I am again, trying to ask you guys, I love your support. You've been behind me the whole time. And I love that you have. And now I have to come try to ask you guys again for how rough it is out there these days, to try to help me out, and donate some money to me to help me, where maybe I should have back in the day saved a little more. I don't know if that would have helped or whatever, but back in the day we didn't make the kind of money they do today. We wrestled, we paid for everything we did. So, planes, cars, everything like that was out of our paycheck. So, I didn't do nothing wrong. All I do is try to help people, and then, this hit me, and I never thought, being who I am, that I thought this would be over with already. I thought, man, we had this licked. There was no problem at all. We're gonna get it. And then an infection again, and then the accident to my wife. And like I told you, then the final thing, losing Holzer, the big man, it's hard to handle. It really is. So I'm just want to thank everybody, and if there's a possibility you can donate anything, again, to my heart to you, I will come back. I'm coming back. I'm a fighter, I see my buddy Buff Bagwell, and he's still fighting the good fight. But in my mind, I am not losing any of my limbs. They already told me they ain't just gonna, amputate my foot. They want to go higher or higher. You never know what, and that ain't gonna happen. I'm totally against that. So I'm asking you guys, the family, the friends, the fans, they all been there. Wrestlers will be getting hold of me privately and talking to me. That's personal conversations. So I've been talking to everybody, but you guys always wanted an update, and I'm giving you one. I'm giving you a truthful one from the heart. I mean, damn, this is hard. It really is. Probably the hardest time of my 62 years on this earth I'm going through. And, I love you. Please go to my GoFundMe. If you can do anything, I appreciate it. And even thoughts and prayers, whatever, just keep them coming, because that's the only thing that's keeping me going. If not, I don't know what I would be doing. So all I can say is thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. Nasty boy. Stay nasty.
And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.